Hey everybody, it's Andre Shirdan, and I'm here with a friend. My guest today is Diane Batoon, and she is a dentist at Bonita Dental and the Arizona Center for Sleep Wellness, both in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we got to meet back in 2017 at a conference. We get a good laugh out of that. And I have followed her passion for airway issues in kids. And it's a passion that I got a chance to actually sit in the back of one of her courses at the Arizona State Dental meeting. I was speaking across the hall, but I kept coming over every time I had a break in order to listen to her. And I just love what she does. So I'm glad you're here with me today.
Oh, thanks, Andre. I'm happy to be here.
You're a superstar.
Not as super as you, but I'm following you.
Well, we got to meet at a crazy dental meeting in Vegas, and it's supposed to be that whatever happens in Vegas, you're not supposed to know about. But we got a chance to meet in Vegas.
Yeah.
What a crazy day! But we built a great friendship, and I think I've become friends with everybody who we were hanging out with that day. So it was a good day.
It was.
Thanks for doing this. This has been a lot of fun interviewing some of my friends and asking these same 6 questions because it's going to be interesting when we hear everybody's answers to the same questions over and over again. So you ready for this?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, and I gave you the questions ahead of time so you could think about this. So think about this. Compare yourself today to the person you were before you hit a fork in the road. And obviously you've got to tell us kind of what that fork was that you hit and how you're different from that person.
Sure. Well, I've been in practice for almost 27 years now, and I was a CE junkie. I took everything from PAC Live to LVI, Hornbrook Group, and then Spear Education and CERAC. So I was really trying to stay with the time, stay on top of the technology. And I had done everything. I had prepped every kind of prep there was. I had tried every kind of bonding system, and I wasn't getting anything out of dentistry anymore. And that's when I started doing airway and TMJ, and sleep. And that really kind of changed the dynamic of what I wanted to do with my knowledge. And so I pursued my diplomat, and now I have my diplomat for American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine. And I feel like it's a different kind of dentistry, but it is so much more rewarding that I've been able to, number one, help people in my family, my immediate family, help myself, help my friends, that it's become a passion of mine. And so it kind of re-energized a new part of me, what kind of dentistry I wanted to do. So it's been exciting. And I think, I was feeling like, oh, I want to sell my practice. Oh, I don't like dentistry anymore, because everybody knows there are headaches and there are, great things that happen. You build great teams, you lose good teams, those kind of things. But with the pandemic going on, I think that it was great that I switched in a different kind of dentistry, because it really did something for me as a person and how I felt about helping other people.
Yeah. And I mean, the years in that I worked in the practice, and my brother-in-law, the doctor I worked for, was very much into doing TMD, TMJ work. And I think for the first time ever, when I sat in your course, and you're not going to know this because I didn't tell you this before, but the first time ever, I started looking at patients or people differently and going, I see facial structure now. I understand that that could be a symptom and those kind of things. And it was really interesting to see that. And I can see where this is, especially for a lot of the doctors who I run into who are just bored with dentistry. They're tired of drilling and filling. It is a new avenue. And like we've been talking about, the fork in the road where things change. And I love it. I love hearing, and I love the passion. So if that's the case, so I'm going to take you into my second question, which is, what book should everybody be reading, and what should they be reading over and over and over again? What kind of book?
That's a no-brainer for me. I think that everybody should read The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, I think. And see, I can't even remember his name. But it's everywhere.
Yeah.
What's great about that book is it's very simple. It doesn't take you a long time to read, but it applies to not only your job, but your personal life, but as an individual. So there are 4 agreements. Do you want me to tell you what they are?
Go, yeah.
Okay. Well, the first one is be impeccable with your word. So say what you mean, and do what you say. Just be true to your word, right? The next one is don't make assumptions. And I think in today's society, we tend to do that. We're during this time too, an emotional community that, you could talk about politics and religion and the vaccine, everything, you're going to touch a nerve. But you don't want to assume. You don't know what that other person's going through. I think, we're not practicing kindness enough, right?
Great.
And just letting things go. The third one is to always do your best. So sometimes, and that has something to do with grit. And how you examine your work ethic, your effort, and all that. I think there's a generation today that seems to think it's a me society. And when I grew up, you worked on weekends, you earned your extra pay, you tried to be self-sufficient, independent. And I'm going to leave the last one for you guys to figure out what it is, but it's a great read, short read. In fact, when people in my team are hired full-time, it's a required read for them.
That's
because
awesome.
It helps you. Yeah, it helps you understand, like, don't take things personally. The doctor's not telling you, because we're busy, and sometimes say, did you call the lab? And I don't necessarily say it like, did you call the lab? I might say, as I'm walking by after prepping a tooth and dealing with a difficult patient, did you call the lab? Like, wasn't that case here? Yeah. So we forget those things. And I think when you realize that it's not about you, it's never about you, it's about the people that you serve.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, I'm probably the worst boss in the whole world, but I'm probably the best boss in the whole world, because I have no filter, and I tell people what I want and how I expect it. But when we take off that hat at 5 o'clock, we're the best of friends. And, I know what type, I know, do you like, what kind of tequila you like? So,
yeah,
so that's business. Okay. Right. So here's question number 3 for you. All right. Give me 1 or 2 of your favorite quotes.
I was thinking about that, and it goes back to how I was raised, and something that my mom told me, very simple. She said, if you don't have anything good to say about someone, then don't say anything at all. Yeah. And that's really hard sometimes, right? Because somebody gets underneath your skin, or they touch something that affects how you feel, your values, and it just, touches a nerve. And it's like, speak well of the dead, right? Yeah. So it's hard, but I just try to remember that. And that's kind of been something I never forget.
I'm with you 300% on that one. So I love it. All right. So, and I love when quotes come from people who we know, as opposed to Ben Franklin or something.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference. Okay. So here's question number 4. What high-tech thing has to have a battery or a plug can't you live without?
I think it's my phone.
Yeah.
Because you could do so many functions on it. You could check your email, you could text, you can look at websites, you can fill out a form, you can sign your name on your phone now. It just seems like it's a technology that suits a lot of purposes, especially I'm a busy mom. I have 3 boys, and I run a small business. So we use Dentrix, and Patient Engage is on my phone. So all those emails come through my phone. So I find it very valuable.
Yeah, it's so funny. Just before we got on the line about an hour ago, I was sitting here on my phone. I was like, I got to go to the post office. And the first thing I did was opened up an app, heated up my car.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
It's about 35 degrees here, so I'm not in Arizona. So it was great because I picked up my phone and I went, okay, and I heated up the car before I went outside. And the good thing is I have an electric car and it's sitting in the garage. So it's not even like it's going to kill me. So
Yeah,
it was
no,
perfect.
that's awesome.
But yeah, I can't live without the phone. Okay, so on the other side of that is, what's the low tech thing? Can't have a plug, can't have a battery. What's the low tech thing you can't live without?
You're gonna laugh. I think it's a stapler. I, I
That's
know
good.
that, because part of me trying to learn to be more organized is getting papers together. I'm still a paper person. I still like a planner. I still like to write things down. And for some reason, when there's important documents or, like I'm preparing for a talk or an outline and I have to write things out, I staple things together. So it still serves its purpose. So
I love it. I don't think, you know what? I'm
you
looking,
don't have one.
I don't have a stapler, and I'm looking. Well, for one, I barely have any paper, but
Right.
but man, I don't have a stapler. Now I gotta. Boy, I feel bad. I got paper clips, but I don't have a stapler.
You're high tech.
Yeah, sometimes too high tech because I've got so much stuff that I don't, everything's in the computer, or everything's, somewhere digitally. But that way I know I can get it. So, but that's a good one, a stapler. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now here's question number 6. What advice would you give the person, you, standing at the fork of the road before you took the courses on sleep, on airway? Who could you go back and talk to that person? What would you say?
I would say it's, not stop believing in yourself. There's a lot of, I think, things that you're going to encounter, whether it's people, situations, weather, like I've been stuck, lost my flight, couldn't get on a flight, just to never lose focus. So be you do you do not try to be like anybody else. Just you do you. And I think, we're both in the speaking industry. It's really easy to get caught up to like, what are they doing? You try to measure yourself up to, am I better? What can I do better? And really in the end, somebody can deliver the same information. Somebody can know the same information, but they'll deliver it differently. So I think that is probably one thing I learned that I wish I knew then is, when you're authentic and when you're being you're being real, it's going to all work out. Yeah. You don't have to be anybody else except yourself.
Yeah, I learned years ago never to read and I want to so bad, but never read the reviews of your speaking in any vein other than to make yourself better. Because right. There's always somebody in the room who hates my guts. I know that from the beginning.
There's always that one person.
I just know that I'm going to read their review at some point during my when I go through the stack of them. But I just know that that's just going to make me a better speaker. So, and I can force myself to make them my friend. So right. Here's a question that I didn't give you ahead of time, but I'm going to ask you this question, and it's an easy one.
Okay.
Diana is who she is today because of hard work or luck?
Hard work, definitely. Yeah. Definitely hard work.
Yeah. And like I said, we've known each other, 4 years, 5 years now. And I get, the funny thing is I get to stalk all of my friends through Facebook now. that's what, but I see you're on the go. I see you with the kids. I see you're speaking here, you're speaking there. And I know, I know you're striving for excellence. So I know it's hard work.
It is. Yeah. While raising a family, you know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Thank goodness my boys are older and they're taking care of me now. If it wasn't for my oldest son Aaron, I wouldn't know how to do this YouTube stuff. So
oh, I know, right? They're really good at those things.
Oh yeah, thank God for kids, they help us in the same way we try to help them. So well, thank you for taking the time to do this with me. This is, we've got a long time coming in order to do something like this, and I really appreciate it. I know. And I enjoyed it. I can't wait to get out there where it's warm and see you soon.
Well, the Arizona weather you hear has been really weird. It is. It's like in the 60s. I mean, I think it's warmer in other places, but
well, it's twice as hot as here.
Warmer. Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'll take that.
Okay.
All right, dear. Thank you again.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.